gonna say I'm gonna do it for Interstellar.
Oh, okay. Let's go. All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
It's about to go down.
I'm a villain in my city.
Oh yeah. So, in case you didn't know,
Ariel.
yeah, JB's not here, so structure has gone out of the window. But in case you did not know, it is me, Ariel, and I am joined by
My boy Marc lives in New Jersey.
and we are here to discuss a couple things in recent news. And as you know, this is just a two-man game tonight because JB is on vacation. He got some PTO approved.
Yep.
Shout out to Marc for that.
My boy.
And you know, it's unfortunate that also Brim can't be here. And as expected,
This shit is different, bro.
That's him in the. That's
Eunice
he's in the
has-
pool right
Eunice
now, bro.
Eunice has broken his streak and he is swimming in a pool in a leotard right now.
Well, he broke
Probably
his streak last week,
with.
but yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did last week as well. I don't know if he's wearing a leotard or not, but for sure it's Speedo brand.
For sure. Absolutely.
But yeah, Eunice has broken his streak, so now he's repeating his streak being broken.
He started
So
a new
let's see if
streak.
he can
He started a
three-peat.
new streak now.
Yeah, he
After
started a new
missing
streak.
again. So we'll see. We'll see how long it is till I hope. We hope he's here next week, but we don't know.
Yeah,
don't
we
wanna
hope
commit.
so. We hope so.
But
Yeah.
welcome guys. You know, we got a lot of stuff to discuss. A lot of actually kind of a decent amount of news dropped since we've been gone. I mean,
Yeah, it's been a crazy
if you follow
week.
us on social media, you probably are sick of hearing me say, "What's up, guys? I got some," so because that's how I started up.
That might be a drop. What's up,
What's
guys?
up, guys? It's because I was saying that a lot in the TikToks, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, all that shit. So let's just start off with some little bit of little fun questions. Some fun questions.
All right.
So I got right now. Question number 1: trunks or no trunks for the Superman suit? I already know your answer, but I want just in case for any new listeners. Let's get into this.
All right. Trunks or no trunks? Now, if there is a way that the costume designer for Superman Legacy can maybe make them into some. Maybe the Fruit of the Looms could turn into some MeUndies. You know what I'm saying? Like some boxer brief joints. I don't mind the boxer briefs if it looks cool in the suit, the way they integrate it.
Agreed. Listen,
I'm chilling, man.
Yeah,
I'm chilling.
I agree. I mean,
We got spoiled, but
I think that it's just so hard to pull off. Anytime I've seen it in live, where a suit that has it in real life, I'm just that shit
it's difficult to take it serious.
And then I see, cause I look at that, and then I look at Henry Cavill's, and I'm like, is it
one looks like a regal outfit of a family, and the other one looks like cosplay, bro. That's what it is. That's what it looks like. It looks.
I'm sorry, and I know it's comic accurate, and it's but. You're probably talking to the two worst people when it comes don't bring up comic accuracy to us.
Tradition, bye.
I know how that probably sounds, but listen, I think people need to stop boiling they attach the character to such weird things. Things that I wouldn't even think of
or trivial, bro.
That can change without changing the overall essence of the character. So for me, overall essence is things like morality or character or personality, those things you can't see. It's things you were reading on a page that are oh wow, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he did that. It's not oh, I can't believe he looks like that, or I can't believe he that goes to people who get mad at people who get the race bent characters, gender bent characters, all this stuff. It's listen, I'm not gonna say all of them, obviously, because you obviously can't make Black Panther like Hispanic or anything like that, because like his culture is rooted into who he is as a, like, that's a very significant part, you know, like that makes sense. Jaime Reyes like Blue Beetle has multiple different things, but you can't make Jaime Reyes fucking like a white guy, you know, that's just not gonna it just wouldn't make work. Sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when it comes to things like costume, I don't know why there's such like obviously the symbol, obviously that's iconic, that's his logo. Like you can only do so much with that, right? I definitely get that, but when it comes to like, yo, the underwear has to be on the outside, like why?
That is not a necessary trait, bro. That is not.
Like, why does he even need a cape? Why does he even need a cape?
Please comment below. Why does Superman need a cape?
Dude, there's definitely a way that you can look fly without one. Like, and I don't mean, like, because obviously he can fly on his own. I'm just mean fly as in he's going to look dope without one, I would think. Like, I think there's a way you could do it, but I'll let the cape slide. That's cool. I'll let that go. Mm-hmm. I get that. But the underwear, I just think that's, like, the trunks.
Yeah.
Yo, do we need it, bro? Do we?
It doesn't work, man. Like
if they find a way,
it's just I'll
say, hey, I was wrong. That shit is dope.
Exactly.
But I don't know.
I can see
him doing.
I'm sure it's in good hands, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it's in good hands. I mean, James Gunn. I mean, speaking of Superman, right? Just to get like,
sheesh, bro.
I'm learning from Junior.
Please, yo,
you know what I mean? Transition, but like, and actually,
what?
Let me do question number 2, and then we'll get into it. And then we'll get into
okay, sure.
So,
oh man, great transition.
It was great. Do costumes determine how well a character is perceived?
I wrote that in there because
okay, because I was like, I wonder who wrote this. It wasn't me. That's an interesting question.
And I wrote
want
that.
to hear what you say first.
Yeah. Well, I feel that it is very much part of a character, but me personally, I've never attached this so much. Like, I don't think I've had a critique of anything Iron Man has had on, you know, because I care more about the character himself. But I think it's a very subjective kind of thing because it depends on how there's so many factors behind it, like nostalgia, what you know already about the character and how you feel your ideal vision of the character is. So
fair.
You know, I like, for example, for the Raimi Spider-Man suit, I think it's, you know, it's legendary for what it is and for what it did to the culture at the time. Like, we went from the leather and black and kind of bland suits from the X-Men in the early 2000s, and then we got Toby's, and it was like, whoa, it looks modern for the time. Like, it just fit. It just worked. And then we get Andrews, and I love the modernization of him.
I love the first suit. I loved his first and second suit. I remember a lot of people when the first one came out being like, yo, his suit was garbage in the first one.
Yeah, that was a critique I've heard as well.
And
they're
then
like, oh, the eyes are too small, it looks weird. And then all of a sudden,
the first one's really great. Like, everyone loves the first one now. It's just like, okay. So, like,
but,
go ahead.
Yeah, it's I'm glad you brought that up because it, in the same sense that you have characters that have, you know, certain kind of outfits throughout their history in comics, but then also there is a certain criteria that has to be upheld, even though there have been a plethora of iterations of this character. It's still but this is the one though. Like, this is the ideal one. I think it's kind of meaningless. It's like, bro, like, if the actor's smoking it kind of doesn't matter what they're wearing, really.
Right. And I think that people tie, I don't know if they tie it like to how they like the character. I think they tie it to, I think it's like, it's hard to explain, but like, so with the Andrew Garfield thing, for example, I remember for the longest time people shitting on that suit. I was like, yo, I liked it. That shit was dope to me. And then
you're referring to Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Yes. And then all of a sudden, once around the time the rumor started of him reappearing in in No Way Home, or Far From Home, or No Way Home, yeah, the third one, and around that time, all of a sudden I started seeing, his first suit was great and his second suit was great, like, and then all of a sudden, all the people who liked Andrew now all of a sudden came out of the woodworks. Like, oh, hey, I loved. I'm not saying nobody liked him but me. Obviously, I knew people who did like him as well, or thought he was like their favorite or whatever. But it just seemed like very odd that like once those rumors started, everyone started getting excited, and then all of a sudden everyone started loving his suit again, or for the first time. Yeah, and it's just like I don't know. It's weird. It's like I don't want to say yes or no to it, but I mean, I do think that there are other times like, let's see. Like, who do you like better as a Batman, Ben Affleck or Robert Pattinson?
Oh, fuck me. This dude put me on the spot.
I know. They're two totally different characters.
They're two totally
even
different.
Though it's Batman, they're two very different ones. And like, I ask you that almost rhetorically because I could not tell you. I love them both for like
Rob Pat.
I don't know.
I like Pattinson better simply because I feel like I can lean into more relatability with him a bit more.
Okay.
Like the way he carries himself as Batman. I really like it actually.
And honestly, that's a totally sane take. I could totally understand that because for me it's like this. Like it's very close.
But then equally Ben just
and no shot at
it's
Christian
almost
Bale,
like
obviously, but
it's a weird time, man, because I almost have this sort of memory where I kind of seen the majority of the iterations of Batman in my lifetime, and I have like a very vivid representation of each era. Like Michael Keaton is the OG to me, but then Val Kilmer is okay, and then
George Clooney he's George Clooney.
Like, I mean, he was George Clooney with nipples in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he does have nipples in real life, but
as do we all.
But yeah, like, when it comes to that, and Ben came along, and then you have also Bale. Bale like pretty much defined what Batman is as a character in cinema, but then you have the remix with Ben, which kind of recontextualizes Batman as this sort of legendary figure in cinema as well. And then now you have Pattinson, which shows this very emotional
take it to new heights now. You know,
it just works better for me. Yeah. And now when you're equating it to the suits, now even Pattinson's suit is the most practical.
So, I'm so glad that somebody has now shared this opinion with me. I've kept quiet, but I love. No,
but I
suit.
feel like our takes on his suit have been.
No.
We've been speaking highly of it from the start.
I don't think anybody hates it or thinks it's trash or anything like that. I think I love it the most. I love that. The thing that really did it for me is that the logo can be taken off the batarang. Yep. Like that's so tough. Like, and I just love it. I mean, obviously,
did he even use batarangs in this film?
He did, just to cut the caution tape when he was going into that, and then I think he used it a few other, like once or twice in a fight, maybe. I think he. And
then to cut that wire.
Yeah, and then to cut the wire. Yeah. But I just love it, and obviously Ben Affleck's suit is obviously amazing too. I love it.
Yeah, it's great too. For what, that's the thing. They all serve their purpose, like for their time. Like I think every suit. That's the thing. It's equally a product of the era it's being made for as well. So
yeah,
that's why it's equally as a very interesting and kind of damning question, because it's like, damn, like why are you doing this to me? But then it's also like, hey man, subjectively and objectively, it can go either way.
I think it can. I'll say this to sum up like my answer to that question. I think costumes play a part in how well you can enjoy a movie. But I don't think it should be taken into consideration when it comes to how a character is perceived. But
and that is the law.
yeah, and speaking of characters, we got a few announcements for Superman Legacy that just came out. Still found a new good segue, didn't I? I know. So we got let me pull this up here. So we got 3 like castings that I did not see coming at all.
Out of nowhere, bro.
Like to be like, yeah, this is gonna be our first movie in the DC universe, like our first full movie. And Superman is, it's Superman Legacy, the first one, and we got an announcement of who's gonna about Isabella Merced will be playing Hawkgirl. Eddie Gathegi will be playing Mr. Terrific, and Nathan Fillion is going to be playing Guy Gardner. Like, I was like, what? I was like, this is I don't think they're gonna play like, insane major parts, but it's.
I mean, you don't know, man.
Could.
It could be James low key kind of making a new kind.
I
of
wonder if he
Guardians
cause
for
for
Superman.
That would be OD. I think I was wondering though. I wonder if he's just gonna come out with like swinging with the fucking.
He has to.
I mean, like imagine a Brainiac storyline where you have these.
But the villain hasn't been announced.
I know that it has not been. And if you get a Brainiac villain right off the bat, because remember, Superman's he's been around already.
Yeah.
This is not an intro. We're not getting an origin story.
This is not an origin story.
I love that decision.
Yeah, that's great.
So this could be, like, hey.
This is
like,
this has the same kind of pressure that I feel the Batman had.
Yeah, agreed. Because people were like,
I feel
this
like
is gonna be so weird.
It's double that.
This isn't the Batman that we know. It's supposed to be a new Batman.
Yeah.
But it was so good, nobody gives a shit. Like,
exactly.
So
like nobody cares.
It's like, it's so great. Don't even touch it. Just leave it as it is.
Yeah.
Like,
we got a
which is
fucking new
good
3-hour
point,
Batman
I
film.
totally forgot about that. That's a good point. But yeah, like, so I wonder if like he's gonna come out with like a crazy villain, like just to be like, yo, like you already saw Lex and BVS,
like Metallo or something.
No, not even Metallo. I think they should do. I think if
Brainiac is the guy,
bro.
If you're gonna weird,
cast these people and you want them to play a major role, I think that's the only villain you could use. That like makes sense, because I feel like a Brainiac movie go crazy, and then you have the. That's how you can involve Guy Gardner in a way where
Mr. Terrific, who's a scientist, and then it all works.
Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner, both of them come and be like, yo, Brainiac's like taking over this other worlds and all this shit, and then Mr. Terrific is there. He's like in Metropolis working at a lab or whatever, and he's whatever, helping him planning out how they can take down Brainiac.
It works, man. So far on paper, and on visuals.
I'm not a writer, but
yeah, guys, there's a strike. Mark is just brainstorming here.
That was just like off the top of my head. That would be sick to see. But if they don't play a major role, I'll also be okay with it. Like if they're just kind of like in there just to say like, what's up, like, all right, I'm chilling with that. Like I
feel that they're
it's crazy just to see all that though. Like I genuinely thought this was gonna be like not a bare bones thing, but just like a Superman, Lois, and I was just assuming Lex. But now I'm like, this may not even be Lex. It may be somebody crazy.
This is like, something crazier than Lex. If you're bringing all these guys,
if they have major roles,
yeah. I feel that these are necessary draft picks.
Absolutely.
Cause James, like we said a couple pods ago, guys. There's a lot of the stakes are very high.
Like whatever you think they are, double it, triple it.
Yeah, because Warner Brothers is known to kind of backpedal when things don't go their way with certain projects, and it seems like with Shazam not doing so well, it's still full steam ahead with what James has going on. And now,
No, go ahead.
And now, we don't know what's going to happen with Blue Beetle exactly projection-wise, because us personally, at least from what we know, I don't give a shit about what it makes. Like, I just hope to enjoy the film.
Yeah.
and you know I'm gonna show up to support because you know this originally I don't know if it was gonna be on HBO Max, but was it? I don't know if it got moved around like that.
I don't think so.
But I'm still glad it's getting a wide release because this, you know, this character deserves that. We deserve some kind of variety for once on the DC
Absolutely.
side. That's not like the Suicide Squad and like it's still some sort of Justice League related. Like you know what I'm saying? Like outside of that realm.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
So, there's man, it's gonna be this is an interesting time in entertainment on that side of the map because like James is legit, bro. Like this is almost like how when the Heat got together for the first time. And they were like, yo, y'all better bring it home.
Oh, right. Yes. The pressure is on. Yes, absolutely. Or no. It was like when Kevin Durant joined the Warriors. That's what it was like.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like, y'all better bring it home. If you have all this talent, there's no shot.
It should be automatic.
There's no shot.
It should be automatic.
Which, with DC, that is how it should have been from the start. Like, and, like, the only thing that, like, okay, so, like, we love Zack Snyder's films, right? We loved them.
Man, it was exactly
the blueprint.
CWV bingo, bro.
The blueprint, bro. The blueprint. But like, I think, like, people need to just know when to let it go, bro. Like,
because that's also
equally bad. Yeah, and like, so you're just gonna say like, oh, unless he's doing it, then we're just not gonna watch or participate. It's like, yeah, obviously we know Warner Brothers screwed him over probably, you know, and all that behind the scenes, all the rumors or whatever. We get that. Yeah. But it's like, yo, like, guess what? It's a new day now, man. Like, you have to let that go. He's obviously let it go. He's chilling, like, right now over at Netflix doing
Rebel Moon in theaters this winter.
Yo, that shit's probably going to go crazy. Like, yo, like, you guys just got to relax because, like, you're kind of, like, fucking it over for everybody else now. It's like, you're trying to fuck it over, you know. It's like, yo,
because it does I feel like it does affect the,
but people are rooting on the shit internet. They're rooting on it to fail.
It's kind of weird,
which is so strange. It's kind of weird. It's like, yo, these are characters that you loved, right? Like, you want their movies to do horrible and be bad? Like, that's what you want? Just because it's not who you would want. Like, guess what? I would love Christopher Nolan to make every DC movie. He's not.
Like, you know, I low-key imagined that, right? When I remember, I'm glad you brought that up because I remember I was in that sort of mentality, like, fine, if because I kind of felt weird about seeing a Batman, like a new Batman billboard,
sure,
up on the street, and I'm just like, Batman Begins, like, oh man, because remember, my most recent memory from Batman was either the animated series or George Clooney, so I'm just like, like,
do we need this?
I was like in 7th grade, like, oh man, like, what are they gonna do?
You're
with
in
this?
homeroom?
No. And then, I was like, no, I was in gym class, like, so like, what do you think? Ugh. So, you know, so it's just an interesting time because back then I was just like, damn, like, so if Nolan did this, and then as I got older, I'm like, oh shit, like Dark Knight was sick. Oh shit, Dark Knight Rises was awesome. Like, what the fuck? So what's next? And then I heard the rumors about him producing a Superman film. I'm like,
oh my god,
oh shit, what the fuck? And then I heard about David S. Goyer like joining in on the project. I'm like, what the hell? And then when I heard that Zach like actually was gonna end up directing, I'm like, wait, but he did 300 and he did Watchmen. I was just like, what the fuck? So that, but it does change when it's still a collaborative effort from somebody that you know root for still. So that's why I still equally that we're rooting for James, but we're also like, hey, you know what you got to do.
Exactly. Yeah, like you went on thin ice, but you're on ice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yo, the chances to have a failing universe are low, but never zero.
Right. Right. Like, I was gonna say something, but you haven't seen the trailer, so I can't say it.
Chill,
yeah,
bro.
No, sorry, my bad. Yeah, I think, it's just with these characters, man. Like, you're telling me, Flash, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, those are 5 movies that should, whenever they release in James Gunn's thing, they should all hit a billy, all of them.
Come on. See, Mark, this.
Sorry.
I feel like
all right, not hit a billy. I'll take it out of the box office terms. they should all be something that we watch and be like, that was fucking lit.
Like a collective critical acclaim.
Collective critical acclaim for all 5 of those movies.
Bro.
No question about it. And I'm not saying like, oh my God, it has to be on par with like Dark Knight and shit like that, but just movies that we enjoy and like. Like, these are the most popular heroes of all time, and you can't make anything out of this, like Warner Brothers. Like, what's going on? So I'm happy. I'm rooting for James. I'm excited with all the news that came out regarding this stuff. So bring it home, James. Bring it home.
Bring it home, James.
Bring it home, bro. Speaking of people who run franchises, though, this brings me to the third question.
Let's go.
How much faith do you have in Kevin Feige to restore the MCU to what it was in Endgame era, like in terms of I mean in terms of the general audience, like what do you think it would take to get the general audience, because obviously there's been a lot of backlash and a lot of negativity thrown their way. What do you think how much faith do you have in Kevin Feige to kind of bring those people back around, or do you think it's just gonna, they're just gonna have to like suck it up and get over it?
What's kind of gotten me through all of the comic book films I've seen throughout my life? Patience. You stick around, bro. It will pay off eventually. They did it with the first phase, they did it with the second phase, and they did it with the third. And regardless of what you feel about each phase, some people, even when you regard the earlier MCU, pre-Endgame days, where phase 1 is the weakest phase.
Some people think that phase 1. I heard someone on a podcast today, the Escape Pod.
Okay.
And one of them said that phase 1 is the one with the most consistent. I want to be careful with the phrasing here, but with the consistent.
Okay, you're paraphrasing.
Yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but I believe the exact quote was, "The phase 1 is the phase with the most consistently good movies." I think ever, like out of all the phases. And I was like, I don't know. I don't agree personally, but
I think phase 3.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Phase 3 is the best, but
because I feel the thing is
you
that
just had such.
It's easy to say that when they're all origin stories too.
And yeah, but like what did I say about like? Are we taking peak or consistency? What do you want? Like, I'm going peak every single time, and I'm not even thinking twice.
That's a difficult question, man, because
I'll take peak. Being good consistently is great.
I know, but then peak is also all right. They were great before, but I'm still sticking around because
Yeah, no. I'm not saying like in terms of like the MCU now. I'm just saying like in terms of phase 1 to phase 3. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, well, that's why I would take that. But to
what
answer,
is peak?
Because phase 3 had the peak movies. Like,
yeah, we had at that point we had already 3 Iron Man films, we had already 2 Guardians films, a Black Panther film, a Captain Marvel film, all in the same phase. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Which one was Infinity War and Endgame in? That was 3. Yeah, exactly. So
2 Spider-Man films, like,
bro, like crazy content in that. Crazy.
I think Civil War was even in phase 3. Doctor Strange, come on,
bro. I'm sorry, bro. Sorry to tell you.
Come on, man. Yeah, that's the thing.
I know
like,
Infinity.
I agree with
Infinity War had a CGI wall, and so.
Oh yeah, Eunice.
Yeah, I know Eunice hates that. But phase 3 is the strongest phase. But yeah, that's not even the question that I asked. So, but let me answer the question. So
go ahead.
I think that, like you said, patience. Have patience, and it's so funny when I hear. Obviously, there are valid criticisms to a lot of the stuff that Marvel has put out, in this phase, for sure. Like,
yeah.
not taking. I'm not saying that these things are flawless, but a lot of the times when I see stuff online, I hear they like. I just want to say before I say this, I'm not sexist or I'm not racist. And I'm like, yo, like if you have to say that before what your criticism is, that means it's a self-report. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Eunice has not been a fan of this
phase at all. So far, phase 4 and 5, Eunice has just been like,
not obviously he hasn't hated everything, but like the things that he's not liked, he's had valid criticisms for. Like things that that he's not saying before I say this, I don't want you to think that I'm sexist.
oh yeah,
I don't want you to think
he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to preface his criticism
with anything like that, because he's not that, and he's just saying, yo, like this is what I think, like, and he's giving valid criticisms, and that's the same thing with all of us. I mean, like if we give a valid criticism, we never preface it by saying that. Like if you really think about how weird is that, that means you know you know what's in there. Because, like, that's so strange. Like,
and it's so obviously blatant as well, because if that's the one thing that you point out,
it's bro. Such a self-report.
It's weird.
So, I'm off that book. But, like,
yeah,
patience, breathe. You're not going to get, you're not going to get, a masterpiece at every single Marvel movie. You're just not.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I feel like it when you get something like all right, let's use to really put a pin on this. Let's use phase 3 as an example on this. When you have arguably the most consistent run in a phase,
there's going to be down years. There's going to be not down years, but just years where you're not on top.
Okay, that's valid, but also, could you really blame somebody for expecting not a masterpiece, but expecting not peak every time either, but something that's just like, all right, yeah, like bet, keep it going, like
I think,
you know what I'm saying?
No,
like
I agree. I don't think it's unfair for people to expect that. I'm not saying that they should go into a movie theater expecting, yo, this movie's gonna be bad, but it's okay. Like no, I get it. Like I'm saying, like I think, I mean, we got into this on one of the other pods. Like, they're kind of like a victim of their own success, Marvel. You know, like I think people just need to just adjust a little bit, and then, like in terms of when they try to do something different, like we saw in Eternals, like that was probably the most different movie they've released. Like
visually and thematically, sure.
Like, and I personally loved it. I did.
It's solid. I don't mind it at all. It's an 8 out of 10 for me.
But people like actually hate it, and I've never seen a real reason why people hate that movie. And I think it's because there's just not enough, like, I guess there's just not enough comedy or something. I don't know what it is for them.
That's
like,
the thing.
Because I recently watched it, and I'm like, I just don't see it. I do not see it.
It has, all right. I feel that objectively, Eternals has a pretty awkward, slow first half.
Is it slow? It's weird. Or is it because we've never seen these How do you?
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I
feel like people are so used to sort of seeing the same faces over the course of 10 years that when new people get introduced,
they don't have the patience for it. They don't have the patience for it.
They don't exactly. Like, they don't have the patience for it. They want to get it going. That's why I just think people have also origin film fatigue. I don't think it's. I just think it's like, all right, like who are these guys now? All right.
Okay, so then we can't like introduce anybody new then. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. I understand, like, I mean, there are definitely valid critiques. I mean, I'm sure, like, we need to have like a deep discussion about this, because I feel like me and Junior, I was just talking to Junior about it the other day, and me and him both like I genuinely don't understand. So like I genuinely want to understand, so I would love to talk to you guys about it more.
Well, I'm glad we kind of started the dialogue, because it's a strange kind of critique for that. I personally, yeah, no, I'm Cillian Murphy
Yeah, yeah.
apparently for the
You are,
MCU,
you are.
but it's the thing is
I'm
that
shilling you.
bro, like, even objectively, there's nothing I can say I actually like despise that they put out. There's nothing I can say like, oh man, that was like on some Morbius level shit. No, I'd be lying. There's nothing that they've put out that I've been like, ah man, like even like the things that aren't as popping, like even like for example, Ant-Man
And the Wasp.
that whole series, it has a trilogy, bro. It's not bombing. Up until recently, I guess. Is that considered a bomb? How much it made?
Good question. I don't know.
Let me see.
As you can see, Box Office Junior is not here with us today. Ant-Man.
Yeah. Junior JB would have had that in the talk. He would've been like,
Yeah. Off the top of my head, yeah, I got it.
Off the top of
476.1 million US dollars in the box office. So not great.
I guess that's.
But
it's ballpark for
Yeah.
what they've made before. I feel like, because I feel like even part one made like 500 million
Yeah.
or something like that. So I didn't expect, if you watch Ant-Man 1 and you know who Paul Rudd is and you go in with the context like, okay,
I think, yeah, go ahead.
Edgar Wright was originally supposed to make this, so it was supposed to be a sort of a more raunchier, poppy film, but they still kept it within the margins of the MCU. And I get where some people can kind of distance themselves with that, because I feel that the MCU has kind of been holding back on
Deep.
before we got to this point now with like people like Chloe Zhao like getting, location shoots for Eternals,
Sure.
or Taika pretty much doing whatever the fuck he wants with Thor. It took a bit too long maybe for the MCU to let some directors.
That's
cook
a good.
like
That's
that.
a good take. That's a good.
That's
take.
the thing. I feel like if we were more used to directors doing their thing in these films, maybe we would be more open to what we
Right.
get from them. Because
what if Thor was what if Taika had the reins of Thor in the first two movies?
exactly, like Thor has gone through like 3 different directors.
Right.
Like it's
Right.
of course it's gonna be jarring for somebody to go from
Thor
okay,
2 to Thor,
you have
Thor
Kenneth.
Ragnarok.
Exactly, you have Kenneth Branagh who did the first Thor,
Yeah.
which was like a fucking like a really
Dramatic
it
opera,
was,
like
it was very
Yeah.
it was great. It was solid for what it was. And then you have Thor: The Dark World. It was it was Teth mid. I think it was Teth.
that's not a ranking anymore, bro. It's blank.
I don't whatever, man. It was blank. And then we have Ragnarok was just like this breath of fresh air for Thor. I was like, yeah, I don't mind this
Sure.
at all. And then Chris Hemsworth leaning more into the role, and Taika kind of making like that side of the universe fun, because I feel like that was a lot of fun, bro. You're dealing with space people, like
Yeah.
I don't mind the direction they went with that, and if it goes weird and ridiculous, that's fine. But I'm glad that that's a pocket that you can visit in the MCU. But then if you're not into that, you don't need to be a fan of it. You can watch Secret Invasion.
That's something I wanted to say. 'Cause I always think about this, but like, yo, guess what? Like, it's so hard to like. Okay, how do I say this? Well, I guess what you said. If you're not a fan of this type of vibe,
Just
like
why tune in if you know you're gonna hate it?
Tune in, but like just go into it with that expectation that like I'm like because a lot of times you have to see these movies just to like understand what's happening in the universe, like to just stay up to date, which I understand. Like it sucks, but like in a way, I guess because if you don't vibe with it, then you're just like, oh, I feel like I'm wasting my money here or whatever. But like I have to know what happens and whatever.
Yeah.
But like I agree with you to a certain extent, right? It's like these movies, if you really think about it, the odds of everybody liking every single different vibe they go with for every single different hero in the Marvel universe is slim.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's the only reason like that you don't like the movie. Some movies obviously they've made mistakes and there's just things that are just weird and that are to a more larger audience, but like there are other things where it's like, yo, like this just isn't your cup of tea type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we digress.
But yeah, guys, that we have feelings about it, but I feel like we're on, at least on this side of the internet, it's just a bit more, I guess, concise and mature approach, because it's like, bro, like, I am not gonna sit here,
Yeah, no.
like some of these guys that have never nutted, like, talk about these characters like that, bro. Like, it's not.
Yeah,
like, come on, man.
yeah.
I'm getting too old for this.
But I wanted to. This question could be something else that could lead us into another kind of rabbit hole.
Sure,
but
yeah.
this is the last one. Is Mission Impossible in the conversation for best action movie franchise?
Yes.
Is it your best
Yes.
action movie franchise?
Action movie franchise.
So what
No, it will be John Wick. I am more invested in John than I am in Ethan Hunt currently, and it's not even an action part. It's a character thing, because Ethan Hunt, like, he's like, again,
he's like the good guy. Yeah, like
not that he's like the good guy. It's just kind of like the stakes are very high in Mission Impossible, because you think he's gonna die from the stunts, like.
but wouldn't that add? That's what I was.
It does add, but that's the thing. Like, from Mission Impossible, I'm getting spectacle on entertainment on a scale that I wish I would have dialed into and visited the theaters for.
Sure.
Like, I really regret missing out on that in theaters, but that's why I feel all right. Let me be more myself and objective about it, personally. It's 1A, 1B. It's John Wick and then Mission Impossible.
For me, it's Mission Impossible
because of the set pieces and stunt alone. Like,
it's crazy.
It's absolute madness.
Actually insane. Like I watched Dead Reckoning Part 1 last night.
Okay.
Sorry, not last night. I think I watched it Monday. Yeah, Monday night.
You watched it 3 months ago. Guys.
No, 2 days ago. And it was just like, I was watching it and I'm like, in my head, like, there are certain things that he did where I was just like, I cannot believe he did that. What human being looks at that and says, I got that.
Yeah, I'm game. Yeah.
Like, I could do that. Don't get the stunt court. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
he has earned my respect, like, throughout all these movies, but, like, I think there's elements of that, right? And I think just the sheer creativity and how they
of the stunts.
Yeah, not just the stunts, but just like the plot. Like, in terms of like how they end up getting to the end goal. Like how they need to improvise and do things, and a lot of times when they improvise, I'm like, when it works, I'm like, that actually makes sense. Like, you know, and it's just amazing. They've only had, in my opinion, one like miss, and that's Mission Impossible 2.
There we go. Yep, that is the misplaced John Woo of it all, and it's unfortunate because I feel like in a different era, I feel like if Mission Impossible 2 came out in fucking 98, it would have been perfect for that time and that era there, because it really dialed into the, you know, that kind of Matrix kind of, you know, very cool, very stylistic, very fucking flashy and all that stuff. It's just in 2002 that I feel like that was outdated at that point. For, like, cause it just didn't work. But then you get to Mission Impossible 3. J.J. Abrams he just came out of there like, hooked us with that, bro. Like, when I watched that for the first time, I was like, holy shit. Philip Seymour Hoffman as the villain.
Smoked it.
Crazy. And then, you know, you have Ghost Protocol, which was solid. I did not mind it. It had a great opening. Solid set pieces at the Burj Khalifa. That was awesome. Like, you know, and the stakes just kept rising, man. He's hanging off the side of a plane in Rogue Nation in the first 5 minutes. Like,
and like, you know, like, that they're gonna win at the end, or at least, like, you know, but that doesn't
somewhat, like,
but that doesn't take away from it still. Like,
well, that's the difference between this and Fast.
Exactly, because this is about, like, because when that happens, usually the viewer attaches onto or grabs like the derives the enjoyment out of the fact that it's like, okay, I know they're probably gonna win, but how are they gonna win?
Are they gonna? Yeah, what's the how of it all? Yeah.
With Fast, it's like what it's such just stupid things especially with, I mean, I'm talking about the later ones like 10. You know, like I watched that,
which
I
you
was
loved,
like,
bro.
Oh my God,
we watched that at Star Killer Base.
Horrible.
We enjoyed a wonderful screening of Fast 10 on digital at Star Killer Base.
Ariel fell asleep
but it was my second watch. All right, I was very tired.
Falling asleep during an action movie. She was crazy. Like, oh, speaking of falling asleep, bro, in the theater next to me, dude was like this, or in the theater, in the seat next to me. I literally saw that. Like, he was like, and like, I tell you that just because it's a funny story. So to the audience, don't let that distract you, or don't let it stray you. Go see Dead Reckoning Part 1, please.
And that is a Marc.
So good.
Order.
So good.
All right. So is it out of all 7 so far?
Which one's my favorite?
Early rankings. Yeah.
You want me to rank all of them?
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay.
You don't need to rank all of them. I'm just saying at this point so far.
It's between this and Fallout for which one's my favorite one.
Okay,
Fallout
because
was amazing.
I feel like Fallout is like peak Mission Impossible as a film though. Like
right.
Like I feel like they finally
hit that stride.
And it's so it's so crazy because Christopher McQuarrie like pretty much like they were going through some production issues, I feel like, with Fallout, I think. And they had to like do some script changes on the fly.
For real?
And look what we got. Off of improvised like on set like script changes and shit. Like it's almost like they made a craft out of just making these impossible, like literally they live and breathe that. Like
they improvise.
They live and die by that.
They got a better result.
Mission Impossible, like it's the literal thing, and it deserves to be in the conversation. And I wouldn't argue against somebody that thinks it's
like,
top.
Improvising, right?
Yeah.
Like that brings me to a movie that I just saw today, which is called Interstellar. And this is gonna be our first segment of
Thank Me Later.
Thank Me Later.
Yep.
And so obviously you guys can kill me if you want, but I never watched Interstellar up until today.
Ew, this
never
is so
watched
cringe.
it. I love Nolan, and I think it was a combination of Oppenheimer coming up next week, and then a combination of also like everybody just telling me to watch it. So I decided, like, screw it, I'll watch it. And my God, and I say it connects because the what's his name, Matt Damon's character
Cooper. You're talking about
he said to him, like, like
Dr. Mann,
like they couldn't send robots because if something goes wrong, robots can't improvise. Like that need for you to stay alive, that makes you more creative. That instinct is your greatest strength. And so that's why I was talking about improvisation. Man, we're not gonna get into a whole deep dive here, but
we can do it next time.
We'll do it another time. But like, my Lord, man, like, so good. So and honestly, I think the perfect word to describe it is beautiful.
Thank you.
And in an emotional way. Like, I'm not even talking. I mean, obviously, it was great with like how they shot it, like cinematography and everything else. Like,
Voight Van Hoytema, man,
smoked it. But like, I just mean in a story perspective, just a beautiful story. Beautiful in more ways than one, but like, really with the relationship between like the father and his daughter. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, Coop and Murph, man. Bro. Yeah, and there's so many elements in the film that have inspired like what I'm creating currently with the footage I have. Like it is currently Interstellar and Pulp Fiction are like my two go-to movies currently with a project I'm working on personally, and it's like I said, Mark, that Interstellar for me is my favorite Nolan film.
Right.
And then
I feel like Inception doesn't get enough love from people, bro.
No, Inception, the thing is that
That's my favorite movie.
Inception was such a weird, like, it was such a strange and random, beautiful in between movie between fucking Dark Knight and Dark Knight
That's
Rises.
what I'm
It was
saying,
just
bro.
like, Nolan was just like, hold that.
Like, oh, like I've just finished Dark Knight. Here's another critically acclaimed movie for you. Like, what a goat, bro. Like, think about how crazy it is. Go ahead.
And the most consistent, and you know, all of Nolan's films are connected because the most consistent villain is time. Let's go. So, yeah. And with time, we are running out of time in coming up with reasons to not believe that anybody and everyone is a Skrull in this fucking show. Everybody's a fucking Skrull. Everybody.
That's a
Nick
mean
Fury
transition.
Bro, Nick Fury is probably a fucking Skrull.
Nah.
I watched a theory today, bro, that was just like
I can't co-sign that joint. I cannot. I refuse.
I can't wrap my head around that because it's so ridiculous, but this show is just it's the gift, man. They just keeping it going. I don't see a slowdown here at all.
Yeah, no.
It's the shortest episode of the season so far, and it was still just as good.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I think this episode, like, and obviously as expected, Gaia is not dead. As expected.
Yeah, I told you, bro.
No, you did not. You thought she was dead. I'm the only, like, let me ask you this.
Mark. What?
If it turns out that what's his name didn't actually die in this episode, Talos. If it turns out he didn't die, and then in the beginning of next episode he just comes back, are you gonna be like I feel like you get one of those a show.
I mean, they didn't really do it with anybody else. I mean, because the thing is that the thing with Gaia was
she powered up before she went out there.
Yeah, she powered up, but like it was already kind of set.
Yeah. That, and it made sense.
So they could kind of get away with it this time.
I don't know though.
Yeah.
It made sense with Gaia. For him, he got shot right here
in the arm.
No, he got shot right here. It was around here. It's not the arm. It's like his chest, and like shoulder area.
Forensic scientist,
and then
comment
he got
below.
Stabbed right here.
Yeah, right in the chest.
Like,
yeah.
I love Talos. Don't get me wrong. I wish he wasn't dead, if he is dead. But like, I wish.
Wait, so are we confirming right now, bro? Yo, listen, Mark.
Tough.
I don't like being. Yo,
I don't want to be wrong.
We run a pretty crazy morgue here at the CWV.
I don't want to be wrong, but I'm gonna do this and hope that I'm wrong. I'm gonna confirm time of death as Wednesday.
It looked like the afternoon there.
Yeah. Sure.
It was definitely afternoon.
We'll give it a July 12th at 2 p.m. Bled out, knife wound, stabbed to the upper left chest.
Yep.
Along with a gunshot wound, slightly above that.
So blood, hemorrhaging, and severe laceration to the chest. Dead right upon impact.
Yeah.
Like he died right away, bro. Like
Gravik is a hoe.
For real, Gravik is. But the thing, you know what I love about Gravik is that.
How are they gonna kill him? That's my question.
Yeah, that's the thing. How are they gonna kill him?
I think Gaia has to do it.
Yeah.
And I think Talos' death could serve as like a.
Ooh, he did die for a reason.
To bring Gaia back to the fold. Yep. In terms of like, you know, because she kind of went haywire there, and like I think she's probably gonna be like, you know what, like I'm going after his ass now. I'm
Yeah, because she has no reason to side with Graphic.
She has the same power.
Yeah.
She has no reason to side with him. He's killed now both of her parents. Like, you have no reason to side with him at all. And so that's one family. Yeah, that's one taken care of. Now let's move on to the other one. Nick Fury and his wife. Bro, when he bugged her, I was like, man. And then with the tea, when she came home and he had the tea, I was like, oh, he's gonna like drug her or something, and then like she'll get knocked out and then like whatever.
Yeah,
but they took out the guns, and I was like.
And they had a very that scene that reminded me of Pulp Fiction when when Samuel Jackson's Jules character and Vincent Vega, they got kind of like just shot at by this guy with a freaking hand cannon from the bathroom, and all the bullets just missed. All 6 just completely missed, and they're just like, oh, so this is just meant to be. Like,
right. Like this is fate. Like,
this is fate. You're not supposed to kill each other. And she kept her promise to that woman that she completely assumed her form. Yeah. And stole her identity. All good though. But not a crime at all.
Well, no. Well, they both.
No, I know. Yeah, they agree. It was consensual. It was consensual.
They both didn't want to kill each other. And
consensual identity theft.
No. I'm talking about Nick Fury and his wife. Like, they didn't want to kill each other. They both missed on purpose. Obviously, you can't.
That was crazy, like, bro. What a shot.
I was like, oh man.
Pop.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna like. I thought like it would have been crazy if like he had another gun under the table or something. And he shot her with that one. He had like one here and then he had one under the table and he just shot both of them and then moved. That would have been crazy. But and then once I saw the bullet miss, I was like, oh fuck. And then, but then I was like, okay. I was like, they're not gonna kill Nick Fury. But again, like a beautiful scene. Like I love the way it was written. I love like the callback to earlier, like when they were at that restaurant and she read him that, and they read that poem together.
Bro, that poem was awesome, and, man.
Like, I think it's just great, man. I'm really enjoying this. Like,
this is a different kind of level.
And we have 2 more episodes left. And through
so
4,
the penultimate is up next.
They've all been either heat or wavy. Like,
that's
it. And so, and I hate to say this, but as most of the MCU shows have gone, it's been either a messy ending, bad beginning, great ending, good slow middle, good ending. You know what I mean? It's like it's just never been consistent all the way through.
I understand.
These back 2 episodes
been a very
are great.
Yeah, that's been the most consistent critique that you've had.
And if these last 2 episodes are great, this will then be
heat at minimum.
Heat at minimum. This will be
the greatest
the best
MCU
MCU
so
MCU Disney Plus show that they've released. Better than WandaVision, better than Loki.
Yep.
No question. Now Loki can come back in season 2
and we're talking about
and be better, but
the thing is that like we're not speaking from a perspective of how they affect the universe. We're talking about simply as entertainment, as art. That's what it is as itself, standalone. Yes. This is the best of the best currently.
Yep.
It's shaping up to be the Andor of the MCU on the TV side at least.
Yes, I agree. I think that people are also like, and going back to the MCU stuff, it's like people are always looking for a way to how is this going to affect the bigger thing, like the bigger stage of like. Not
everybody wants to, but meanwhile they're setting up to possibly the craziest arc that we're gonna go into for the next couple of phases. So it's like,
and
come
not
on,
everybody
man.
Has to be. Or every show, like every show
has to be that involved.
Has to be so involved in it. No, it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to deal with the multiverse. It doesn't have to deal with Kang. It doesn't have to deal with all these like insane things. It can just and Skrulls are still a big deal. Like, let's stop acting very like Skrulls are just nothing. Skrulls.
The thing is that they're the biggest threat on Earth. Exactly. Not in the universe, maybe, but on Earth.
No question. And in terms of universe, like, obviously, like, stuff like, you know, who's like another
like the Celestials. Like,
yeah, like obviously they're not.
well,
on that
at least Arishem is
yeah.
like the
like
he's
obviously
the
they're not
big
on that
bad,
level.
at least.
But like it's not like they're nobody. It's not like these are like the flag
Yeah.
smashers here. You know what I mean? It's like
or stormtroopers. Yeah, they're not.
Like, yo, they can assume anybody's like physical looks. They can get their memories. They can, like, if you think about this, they're perfectly made to be spies. Like, that's what they are. And like, this is a spy show. Accept that.
Is such a perfect
thing. And
bro, imagine this was a thing like ever since.
Oh
like,
my god.
Civil War. Even.
Yeah.
How much things would have been different if they had involved the Skrulls, because Skrulls could easily be the most consistent villain for another 5 years, bro. Like that could be just the deal. Because
no question.
Man, this I'm really enjoying where the MCU is going with this show, at least, and it has great potential to set up, Secret Wars, right? Because that's where this would all pay off. I'm assuming
Probably.
Because I feel that Kang Dynasty is gonna deal with the multiverse and space side of things, and then Secret Wars will deal with what's going on Earth on a multiverse level, possibly.
Yeah, probably.
So
yeah,
we're gonna see where they go with that. Do we have any 2 out of 9 reviews?
I got you. There's got to be something. Let's see here. Secret Invasion.
Oh, there it is.
What is it on IMDb, right?
Yeah. Secret Invasion.
Invasion.
Wait, where are the...
This is rated at 7.9 out of 10.
Episode guide. So far, this is... Wow. Alright, this is the highest rated episode of the season.
That's insane. How do I see...
I see all user reviews.
Where do you see that?
Scroll down to the bottom of the stat page. Like all the way...
Oh, user
when
reviews.
You scroll down to
got you.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And then you can sort them.
Yeah, by 1 star. I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, no 1 stars, I guess. 3 stars? What?
Yeah, no. Yeah, because the thing is that when you click on it, it just shows you how many people have rated it, but it doesn't mean that they've reviewed it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, so I guess there's no...
Yeah, one person just complained, gave it a 6 out of 10.
Why so short? Why so
Why does one
short?
of the biggest franchises in the world on one of the biggest streaming platforms have such short episodes? For the first time, I was really enjoying Secret Invasion only for the episode to end after 30 minutes. I mean, seriously, come on, Disney and Marvel. It's such a shame and feels like a waste of time when credits just roll just as I'm getting into it. so after Talos got stabbed, you were like, oh, this is
yeah, let me sit up. Or so. Here's like an interesting one. This is a 7 out of 10. The first actual decent episode. After some not so much highs and very low lows, Secret Invasion gives us the first actually interesting and engaging episode, but unfortunately and unsurprisingly, it's only 30 minutes. So I ranted a lot in my previous episode review.
They can't win, bro.
I know, it can't win.
They can't win, bro. If the episode is good, yeah, it was too short.
Like, you know how you're joking around when you're like, oh man, like I my one critique is that the credits started going. Like, that's a joke that we say. These people are serious.
Yeah, they're like, yo, the credits were rolling right when I was getting into it, man.
So I ranted a lot in my previous episodes and the decisions the writers made, but I'll take it back with the opening of this episode. The last episode is still a filler and a nothing episode.
A nothing episode.
So I'm not changing my stance on it being a bad episode. This whole episode feels better and is more interesting because the dialogue got way better and the scenes between Fury and other characters are written and directed in a more engaging way.
It's the same director. It's the same director for all of
Listen to this.
Yeah, this was a nothing episode.
There isn't much secret invading happening in this show. What the fuck are you talking about? So the Skrulls just being spies, that's it's whatever, right? They don't.
There's no secret invading. Like
they don't
they're literally masquerading as Russian troops.
Like, let's see. I also wish they did the first poem scene. I also wish they did the first poem scene in the previous episode and not 5 minutes from the next scene it was referenced. But you can't really have a good characterization of character arc when you have all these characters and only 6 episodes to introduce and wrap up a story. Though I will question the baffling decision of the showrunner to not have 6 one-hour episodes that you could at least squeeze more characterization storytelling into, instead of your third to last episode being only 30 minutes. Of course, you can't do much with this runtime.
I think this guy just solved the writer's strike.
That's one valid thing. Of like, you have 6 episodes. Why not just go and make them an hour each? That's one valid point. But like,
that's true.
Out of the episodes that we've gotten,
depends
I've enjoyed
how they
all
break
of them.
up.
So I mean,
yeah, I know, but like the thing is that I feel like if let's say you have a 6-episode season, and you're like, all right, your script is being written probably by the week or something. I don't know how they're doing that, but when it comes to these shows, it's kind of like, all right, one of these, like, I don't expect all these especially on a shorter level of the season.
yeah.
Of an MCU show, and you've seen what we've gotten before, even with like Hawkeye, 30-minute episodes, fucking like WandaVision, like 20-something minute episodes. Like this is normal. Why are we still like?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's too short, bro.
Yeah, like that's actually insane that people are actually giving that as a. That's crazy.
It's too short.
Like
too short.
Wow.
Or what do you think of? Let me ask you this. This is my one question. Not one question, but one of the questions I have.
Yeah.
Where is the real Rhodey? Is he like dead?
Fam, I see. Now I'm feeling weird because it's like this had to have happened between Falcon and Winter Soldier and now, because that was real Rhodey there. In those moments with Sam, maybe. Fuck. Oh shit. Because he was also pretty adamant on Sam not getting the.
I don't know, dude. Like, that's my point. It's like, where's the real one? That's been my question this whole time.
Yo, where's my Rhodey, bro?
Where's my Rhodey?
What the fuck, man?
That's my question. And if you guys have any ideas, let us know in the comments.
Comment below,
bro.
yeah.
Let us know in the comments. But I truly
Hashtag
do not know. Hashtag find
Hashtag
Rhodey.
where he at?
Hashtag release Rhodey. Release the Rhodey cut. I hope we get to see that. I think that would be like kind of weird though if they don't address that, right? Like that would be kind of strange if they don't address it throughout the entirety of the show.
Maybe
they don't say, "Oh, where's the real
payoff.
one? Like, is he dead?" Like you don't even have to show us. Just say like, "Yeah, he's dead."
I don't know. That's not something I considered up until like I just saw in the show. I'm like, okay, he's a Skrull, right? Yeah. Confirmed. Where's Rhodey though? Like, I was thinking about that throughout the entire episode, but it kind of left me as soon as I saw Talos die because I'm like, oh shit.
Right. That's when the episode got good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. When the episode started, right there, you know, when Talos died.
Bro.
Yo, but shout out to Gravik for being a great villain, and
yes,
like, every time he pulls up, he's like, nah, I'm clapping.
Yeah,
like,
that's another thing I wanted to say too. He is great. Like it's great in the sense that it's like he's refreshing in the way that no other villain is like him. Every other villain is like, oh, I want to make you suffer. I want to make this. He's like, nah, I'm just gonna clap you. Like,
yeah, like I'm just clapping people, yeah,
bro. Like I'm not with all this shit. Like, and you know what that speaks
episode
to?
Was
that speaks to his goal, his mindset.
Yeah,
like he's like saying like, yo, like obviously like, yeah, I want to kill you, but like also I have a goal. And the goal is to preserve my people. And if I have to kill all of these people to do it, I will. And I am.
He has
He has like a higher thing of just like, or more deep reasoning to all this than just like, oh, I want to take over the world. Like, no, he doesn't want to take over the world. He wants to.
He's trying to save
self-preservation. He's trying to save his people.
He's pretty much like reverse Grodd. I mean, not Grodd, Zod. He's like reverse Zod because Grodd. Shout out to Gorilla Grodd in The Flash. What season was he in? I'm sure that was great. Whatever episode he was in. Great CGI, I'm sure. But anyway.
You're such a hater, bro. You're such a hater.
Get up, Ariel.
So the thing is that I feel like Zod, we didn't get to see his vision like pull through all the way like that up until The Flash just recently, you know.
Spoilers ahead.
But I do love that we kind of see another villain have that take on like, nah, like I'm with the shits, like I'm getting this done. And the thing is that equally like Zod, he's just as much as a threat because he's super powered now.
Yeah.
And these guys can handle radiation, so it's not even like you can really nuke.
Right, you can't. No, like they would clap like civilization, like no question about it. Especially with how embedded they are in civilization.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and
how high
starting World
War
III. Like, wait till the news gets out that the fucking president got
attacked
by Russian paramilitary troops.
But
like,
now that he's alive,
crazy.
We'll see. I mean, hopefully Nick can convince him, like, yo, like, trust me, because
he'll stop.
He must know that. No, because if the president comes out and says no, it wasn't Russia, that's it.
True.
You know what I mean? So like.
Ooh. Prediction. Prediction time.
Okay.
Peep this. Talos's body was left there. We could say that's proof that these guys were shapeshifting.
These guys? Oh, like the attackers.
Like Fury could use that. Could use that. Talos is proof. Like, look, these guys exist. Like, this is a thing.
That soldier saw him. I mean,
he was like, "Hey, that alien's trying to break into the car. Nah, he's with me." Okay,
and I like that. I actually like that because it was like he was like, "All right," like it shows like cool. You know what humans are capable of. You know, which is
they did acknowledge Fury when they pulled up
like, yo,
too.
like, all right, whatever. All right, like it's acknowledging that like
he's with me. All right,
humans
cool.
can accept other things like when if they're not assholes. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, but that's dude. I also agree with Gaia.
No.
Like, assuming.
No, I get it too. I get it too.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying like, and that was another great conversation. I mean, like she was like, like he has a plan. Graphic has a plan, and he's doing it. Mm-hmm. What's your plan?
What is yours?
Like,
what's your plan?
And he's just like, yeah, we're gonna save them, and then tell them we saved you, and now help us. Like, there's no leverage there. It's just, unless you say like, I mean, because it is true that there's a lot of Skrulls out there. So it would be interesting to be like, yo, like, I could tell you who they are. Like, or at least a majority of them. I know who a majority of them are.
Yeah.
So I can either come out and be like, yo, like, all this shit is happening with proof, or you can just help me and my people get out and find a planet, like, and shit like that, which could be be how they end up. Oh, I don't want to say anything. Never mind.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
The Marvels trailer. There's no Skrulls in the trailer.
Okay.
I was gonna say something else and say maybe it's that. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe something is happening there, but yeah. So, but overall,
look, man,
rating. This was a wavy episode for me.
Wavy, baby.
Now a lot of what do you think though about like you still think if they bring Talos back, like you think that's okay, like if it.
Well, the thing is, here's the thing. For example, like what they did with Gaia.
That makes sense.
Showed in a flashback. Okay, that made sense.
He ain't have all that.
You guys just saw Marc did declare the time and death. We detailed the injuries that he passed from. If they find a way to bring him back, bro, I'm gonna be like, huh? Like, okay, I guess,
gotta
but
be good, man. That
it's gotta be
It's
good,
gotta
but
be-
still, it has to be for something though. Like
Yeah,
I
and
feel like
that's-
if
I think
if he's
having-
dead, make it count, and if he's not, make it count.
exactly.
That's it.
So you said wavy, right?
Yeah, wave. Yeah, this
Yeah,
episode was awesome.
episode was awesome.
I really can't
just too
believe
short.
that. like right when Fury like looked over at Talos like dead on the floor and he just pulled off. I was like, wow, this is getting mad good. And then like it just cut away. I was like, wow.
That's fucking crazy.
No, I want to thank you guys for listening. As usual, follow us on all our socials. As if you're new, we're on Instagram, YouTube, obviously. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Threads. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're everywhere, man. So just look up CWV Productions or Chilling with Villains. You'll find us either of that. But yeah, we want to thank you guys for pulling up. Drop a like, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Appreciate you. And yeah, if you don't like Secret Invasion, get over it. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it.